Welcome to the Revolutionary Communities podcast. If you're an impact-driven company ready to boost sales and loyalty by valuing people, then you're in the right place. My name is Maruxa Murphy, your guide to building communities that resonate with your passion, vision, and purpose. Every week, I bring you game-changing strategies and revolutionary industry leaders who are blazing the trail with innovative, inspiring, and profitable communities. Having personally cultivated over 200 profitable communities just like these that generate 6 to 8 figures in additional revenue, I'll give you insights into creating unique and heart-centered community experiences. Today's episode, well, it's something that might just change your life. So settle in, enjoy, and let's dive into making our world a better place, one community at a time. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Revolutionary Communities podcast. My name is Maruxa Murphy, and it is a pleasure to be here with you today. We're going to be diving into community design at another level, my friends. Here's the thing. Community has been a quote unquote squishy word for a very long time, especially as it relates to the world of business. I'll never forget my dear friend and client, Paul. He's Paul Choi. He is the director of community, the head of community at Kajabi, one of my clients. And I remember as we were diving into a deepening of how to really measure community in their world, he shared that. He goes, Maruxa, people always come to me and they say, we want to learn, we want to invest more in community, but it's so squishy. And I smiled and I giggled a little bit because, the truth is, like, those of us who run communities, we're the squishes of the room, right? We're the love bugs typically. We want to hug all the people. We are the people-y people, right? And so I got what he was saying. Sometimes in the world of business, it feels like we can't be taken seriously. It feels like we either have to choose a side, either profitability or people. And so it really has had me over the last, 23 years of building community. I've started to see that when community is actually able to be measured and to be given number and numerical value to it, we're actually now able to create somehow miraculously more investments for it. And I'm saying that a little bit facetiously, right? Because the truth of the matter is, I believe that community is the lifeblood of how we grow with one another, how we grow companies of impact, how we grow companies that are literally shifting culture and shifting their industry. If we go back and we start to look at companies that have made some massive impact on the world, and not just necessarily financially, but massive impact in the world in terms of how their customers really have a sense of loyalty to them, have a sense of gratitude and appreciation for them existing. Those are the kinds of companies I like to work with. Those are the kinds of communities I want to expand and grow more. And it's because, to be quite frank, it's not as hard as it is to just build something that is profitable. It's harder to build something that's just quote unquote profitable than to build a company where people matter first and foremost. Because when people matter first and foremost, profits always follow. Multiple times over, they follow. We can't help but want to evangelize about the things that matter to us, and the products and the services and the programs and the teachers and the guides and the schools and the that have felt so alive for us because they have leaned into what I call the sacred four, helping their people feel like there's a sense of belonging, helping their people feel like they're family, that they're safe, they're seen, they're heard, they're honored and respected. That energy that is embodied through getting clear on the fact that community is not just a quote unquote squishy word, but actually has a massive return for a company is everything, is everything. And what I'm recognizing right now is that we as a world need to really look at, take a few steps back from how we've been measuring our companies, and specifically the investment into community. So I've actually coined the term, two terms actually, to understand the return on investment within community as the return on community and the return on impact, the new ROI. The return on community really starts to help us understand, okay, let's imagine we want to grow our community by 5,000 this year. Okay, great. We want to make sure that we have an engagement, an active user count of 50%. Okay, great. All of these things are measurable, right? They're great and they're so needed. We need those numbers. We need to know how many sales are being made because the community exists. That's part of return on community, right? We want to know how many people are being referred in, how many leads are we getting into our community every month. Again, those are things that are currently quantifiable in the normal, average, everyday way. And you and I both know that community is felt so much more deeply and has so much more impact than just what those numbers show. Those numbers help tell the story and help us optimize the experience to create what I'm about to share next, which is what I call the return on impact. Those numbers help us create more return on impact. But if we don't know what the return on impact is, then why are we doing community? Of course, yes, it looks squishy again, right? So let's dive into what the return on impact is. And then I want to also invite you into seeing what this looks like. I have some diagrams and support for you on our website. And in the show notes, I have a link below for you to be able to receive those. So make sure you pick those up today. The return on impact really first and foremost starts with the visionary. Now, the visionary typically is one person that is leading a vision. It could also be a visionary team. What I find is that when we're looking to impact the world, when we're looking to create massive transformation, what often we do is we look externally. Okay, I, Maruxa Murphy, am here to create communities in such a way that we reach 555 million people by the end of my lifetime. My hope, my friends, is that I live till I'm at least 95 years old. So to create communities in such a way that we're reaching a minimum of 555 million people by the end of my lifetime, right? That's me looking out and externally into a gorgeous number that is my aspiration. You as a visionary should also have an aspirational number. I want to invite you to imagine your revolutionary community right now. Who and how many people are you serving? How many lives are impacted because you said yes with courage into the vision that you have set forth? Now, the problem with only looking at that number is that there's a big bridge to get there. And the problem with thinking we can just walk on the bridge is that we have these things called fears. We have these things called obstacles, challenges. We have our own internal stuff that we have to work through. So at the core of the return on impact is you making the choice today to lean in to the vision, recognizing that this vision and all the gorgeous humans you're going to be serving are a reflection of you in your journey and in your leadership today. That's what it is. And we can choose to hide behind it, but what often happens is the community is literally going to reflect to you what it is that you're working on within yourself. So you can either choose to say yes to it, or you can choose to hide from it. And I just promise you, the more you hide from it, the more it's going to be blatant and it's going to get worse. So when you're creating community, recognize that you are the source of love. You are the source of honoring. You're the source of dignity. You're the source of light for the people you're meant to serve. And you get to respect and hold that well for you and because of who you are in this world. And once we lean into that, first and foremost, we can then bring that gorgeousness into our values and into our vision and into our voice, so that in which that our team can start to really feel that same energy that comes from the being that you are. They are probably going to be attracted to working with you because you're choosing to live from a place of impact, from that return on impact that's already impacting their lives by them saying yes to joining the team, by you giving them opportunities to expand themselves as well. And from there, we then move into the impact that you and your team have on the people that you're serving, right? The people that you're serving are going to be a reflection of the internal work of the company. And you leading the way and leading the path to be in your leadership, constantly be in your growth of your leadership, is going to give your team that modeling to be in their growth of their leadership as well. And so your people are going to feel that. They're going to feel that. They're going to experience that through everything from your marketing, through the words that come out of your mouth, through how they're felt when they come in through the doors of your office or of your program, of your experience that you're creating. And when that happens and you're so aligned in, and you're so attuned in, you can't help but then start to create a massive ripple effect. Those people that are being served by you are not just being served by you, but the people that they have in their world are being served by you. Their families, their neighbors, their colleagues, every single person that's impacted because you said yes to your courage and to your voice and to your message is going to be impacted by you. The ripple of impact, this beautiful return on impact, is there. Now, Maruxa, people ask, well, how do you measure that? Like, this is really why it feels squishy, is because you can't really measure whether or not people are impacted. And I have to say, I'm going to disagree. We can create experiences within our companies so that we're measuring their growth over time. For example, I work with an incredible company. I decided, we in building out this leadership company's model and program for their community, for their private clients, I invited them to start thinking of what I call the 360 degree yearbook. 360 degree yearbook. It's a look at the life of the person in their leadership opportunity when they first started with the company and what happened within the full year. And so we start to look at them and have their members create a scale, a sliding scale from 1 to 10 of where they are on these different things that they want to measure. They want to, in this particular case, they're measuring growth of, their own self, how they see themselves, their self-confidence in being a business leader. They're measuring how many sales, how many growth of their audience, right? And they're probably measuring a few other things as well. Oh, yeah, they're measuring as well, like meeting, basically they ask a question around what are your goals? What do you want to create for your life? What are your dreams? And then measure where are you on that scale from 0 to 10? Are you closer to it? Are you farther away from it, right? So we offer every single member of this community that exact process every month as a way to do a check-in, right? It's a very simple check-in, but it really starts tracking each member in the community month over month so that by the end of the year, we're now able to have a full year's worth of quote unquote yearbook to see the progression of a client. Now, what we found is in doing this over and over again from multiple different companies is that not only are members very appreciative of having this model in place, but they're appreciative of it because of two things. Not only, let me back up. Not only are they appreciative because what they're able to see is that they're able to see their own level of growth and expansion month over month. And then when they do look backs, 1 quarter at a time, they're able to see that expansion pretty significantly. It's pretty exciting to watch. So what happens is we see that clients want to stay longer. They might want to graduate. They're more motivated to graduate. They're more motivated to grow and expand with the brand that's helping them through each of these levels. And we're giving them space to share qualitative data with us, meaning share their words and what their dreams are and where they are in the process month over month, almost like a little mini journal, but also then to share on a sliding scale where they're self-reporting their numbers month over month. And we're able to see an increase in growth over the lifetime. So not only do you see that for them and they get excited about it, but you as a company can get excited about it. That's some amazing data for you to be able to utilize as you continue to hone in your marketing to optimize the experience that you're creating for your people, right? So this return on impact is everything. It really is a way for us to now start tracking qualitatively the impact and quantitatively the impact that is being had in their own personal life. And if you wanted to then go and continue to ask them, how has this made an impact on your community? How has this made an impact on your family and your friends, on your place of worship, whatever? You can start to see based on their responses that they have an opportunity now to self-reflect, where most companies are not giving their customers and their consumers that opportunity. So I encourage you to begin to think through community in a much more expansive way, that it's not necessarily just about growing a return on investment in the very simplistic form that we know, but we need to look at how do we invite our members to be a part of the return on impact? How do we invite our customers to see their own expansion because of the product? Can we show them their results, their before and afters in front of them, and start to help them invite in new voices potentially into the conversation, invite in other people to be a part of the experience that's being created because of their own transformation? That's what we often are not tracking very well. And I think once we start looking at that, we see this massive expansion and ripple beyond what we can even imagine. So I know that was probably a lot. It is one that is shifting my conversation, and is one that I invite you to start to think through. Now, again, go in the show notes because I have the link so you can take a look at some of these structures and how I think it through even further. I have some more ideas on that, and you can have access to that because you were listening to this podcast today. It's going to be easy for you to now understand what these concepts mean. And if you still don't fully understand or you want to understand more, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for you. Okay, so in our next episode, we are going to be diving into really the heart, the art, and the science of building community, and really what the process is there to build a community and turn a house into a home. It is incredible and it's powerful, and I'm so excited to share it with you. See you in the next episode. And that wraps up another enlightening episode of the Revolutionary Communities podcast. Remember, it's not just about building communities. It's about sparking movements and echoing change across the globe. I'm Maruxa Murphy, reminding you that every voice matters, every story is significant, and your vision can truly make the world a better place. If today's insights resonated with you, consider taking a bold step and implementing one idea into your community. Let us know about it by going to revolutionarycommunities.com/podcast. And there you'll be able to let us know what is sparking for you by joining our own Revolutionary Communities community. Together, we are stronger, and with unity, we can be the revolution. Until next time, keep leading with your heart, stay inspired, and never underestimate the power of genuine connection.